So I'd like to think we've had time to kind of like settle in and kind of like get our opinions when it comes to this brand new Call of Duty experience entitled Black Ops 6. You know, this game that quite literally the entirety of the COD community has just been stroking its ego off to a point where even to me, it got annoying. This game has essentially been hyped up by both Activision and Treyarch, just like any supporting dev studio would, but something about that promotional hype essentially got to me this year. When I first played this game with the whole worldwide release when it came out, I did not like this game at all. I was ripping this game a new asshole. Not even shitting you. I literally was ripping this game up, tearing it to shreds, and my problems came down to this. I was quite literally looking at this game from the whole nostalgic, blindsided, rose-tinted glasses of a Black Ops 3 player who hasn't been able to enjoy the new stuff that Treyarch has been able to give to us simply because nothing can beat Peak. Until I realized something. It is perfectly okay to have criticisms of a mode or a video game and compare it to its predecessor, but it's not okay to expect it to be better than what is essentially Peak. You can want it to be better than that, but that doesn't mean it's going to be better than its Peak itself. Now, does that mean that I think Black Ops 6 is like the whole best COD game like everybody else is saying? Hell no. I really do not think this is a best Call of Duty game whatsoever. But do I think it's a good game? So far, from what I've seen over the first 2 days of playing it, yes, I do. There's so many little things that have been added into this year's version of Zombies that, again, Treyarch was only the type of people that could have the power to do it better than Sledgehammer or Infinity Ward. It seems like we're actually going to get a whole Black Ops 6 year of focused Zombies content as opposed to putting it out at launch and then killing off support by the time Season 1 or 2 comes out for Warzone, multiplayer, and all that other stuff. We are expected, keyword, which again, I say expected loosely because I'm not paying attention to patch notes, but from what people have told me, we're supposed to be getting another Zombies map before the year is over. And if that's true, that shows me that the devs are really trying to make this game a whole lot better than the predecessors we had. But now, enough kind of talking about what this whole game has done right for me necessarily. Let's actually talk about the good things that I do like about Black Ops 6 Zombies. For one, a feature that I honestly have not seen anybody pay attention to is the fact that we have this new system, your zombie build. What this allows you to do is, let's say for example, that you have a loadout pretty much built into, I'm just going to assume 10, 10 create a class loadout spots. I'm just going to say 10 because that's usually the average in these games anyway. If you have 10 loadouts, right? And let's say your first loadout is the PM right here like mine is, but then your second loadout is the XM4 AR. If you have a build with your XM4 AR, but you don't choose that loadout when you spawn in, if you create it as a zombie build like I did here by just pressing, left trigger or L2, basically turns it into a zombie build. This allows you to have this gun's attachments permanently on it in the game. So if you buy it off the wall or you get it out of the mystery box, you have these attachments permanently in the game as long as it's in your zombie build loadout. Yo, Lance, I'm recording a video right now. You got anything you want to say? Going over the whole thing, basically talking about everything that I do and don't like about the game so far, and you just happen to call in the middle of it. I'm not editing this out. You're staying in the video.
Okay. You know what? My minor thing. Why doesn't the game consider what field upgrades you do and don't have on for the SAM trials?
I don't think people have made it that far in the game, but okay.
For context, I was doing a solo game earlier, and I kind of explained it to you. But the game literally gave me kill 50 zombies with energy mine. I'm not running energy mine game. What do you want me to do?
Change your field upgrade mid-match, because you can do that. That's how you get around it.
Right. I forgot that was a fucking feature.
That's exactly why they want you to.
Skill issue. Yeah, skill issue.
Pretty sure it's just a bug. Pretty sure it's just a bug. Let me finish my opinions and have everybody be mad at me and then be done there.
Okay, just text me when you're done. Or just text me when you're done with your video and I'll play.
Okay. All right. Motherfuckers always trying to call me when I'm doing stuff. You can't call me any other time of the day. But anyway, back to what I was saying. The whole zombie build mechanic, I love in this game. Because that was one of the biggest complaints that I had about Cold War. You have a loadout, and you have the attachments, but you would essentially have to commit to the weapon with the attachments that you had, and what was the whole point of unlocking them if you weren't committing to the gun anyway? Because the only way to get extra attachments for other guns that you got out of the mystery box was you had to spend, I forget how much salvage it was, but you had to spend salvage at an armory station to re-roll the potential of getting better attachments. There wasn't a list that you could pick from, which would have been nice. Another thing that people, believe it or not, are actually complaining about, or at the very least like the high-level zombies players, the difficulty in this game. This is going to get me hated by so many people. I love the difficulty spike in this game. Do I think it's a little bit difficult when you're not used to it? Yes, but it's one of the few COD Zombies games that has to force you to stay on your toes constantly. You know, they even added like the zombie like rage inducer and whatever that thing is at the top part of the map from Cold War, because people were like, oh, the starting rounds in the games are too fast. I don't even think you needed that in this game. And then you've also got a whole nother group of people that were always just like, oh, well, you don't need the extra health states with Jug and you don't need the armor. For this game, you very much do. Because see, the whole baseline that they had with Cold War was basically they decided, you know what, the players want freedom of choice, they want to feel like a badass, or at the very least feel progression in the game, so let's just improve on that. So, with Cold War, obviously, they uncapped the perk limit, but made it a streamlined buying process, so every perk incrementally increases in price depending on how many you already have in your loadout. They decided to add 3 tiers to Pack-a-Punch, meaning that your weapon isn't upgraded one time and just feels like it's dying throughout the whole, rest of the game. If it's, for example, like a pistol or an SMG, you have 3 whole tiers to make it better. You've also got how strong just lethal equipment, that you could buy with salvage was to begin with, because if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure in Cold War that every single piece of lethal equipment was a one-hit kill, depending on how much radial damage it did, because I remember combat axes were a pretty much one-hit throw. You could hold 5 of them base kit. Like I said, can't really remember like grenades and stuff like that, because I can't think of many people outside people who did like challenges actually really ran grenades that they didn't just pick up from the floor. Another thing too, since I'm on the topic of it, I'm glad that there's no rare salvage in this game. There's just baseline green salvage that buys basically everything you need. And as it goes for the maps, I have no complaints for the maps really at all. It's actually kind of a struggle to pick sometimes, because it's like, do I want to play Terminus solo where I have to go to the island and train like 10 manglers with whatever that big gigantic abomination with all those heads and arms are? Or do I just want to play something a little bit more casual like Liberty Falls, where the story's not impactful as much, but it's a little bit more of a streamlined, easy process to get everything going and get that ball rolling. But even though I'm talking this game up and I'm talking it, as if it's like some really high tier game, I do have some minor criticisms. And one of those criticisms I have with the game is the augment system. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that this whole augment system right here should have just been you unlock all 6 of these and you get them permanently on the perk whatsoever. I like the idea of essentially making a build based off of what specific type of augment you can put onto a perk. So in this game, instead of getting all 6 of the upgrades like you see on screen, it's a pick between 1 minor and 1 major. So for example, if I want to run, if I want to run Retaliation on Juggernog and then run Reactive Armor once I unlock it, I can do that. If I want to run Probiotic and Durable Plates, I can do that. Or Hardened Plates and Turtle Shell. But something that I kind of don't understand is this. For one, it's not a choice of 2 of the 6. It's a choice between a minor and a major one. I personally don't like that very much. I would have much rather had us have the ability to pick 2 of the 6, period, as opposed to it being between a minor and a major one. Which, I guess you could argue that maybe there would be some ridiculous builds that you could make, like if you could run durable and hardened plates at the same time. There's probably some builds right here that I'm not seeing that are very much counterintuitive, or not even necessarily counterintuitive, but you just can't build because the game doesn't let you. Another thing I don't like about this, it's linear and has no player choice. Now, what I mean by that is you are forced to unlock these in a certain pattern, which conveniently they do actually add augments for other, sections in here for the ammo mods and field upgrades. So you do get 1 field upgrade and 1 ammo mod at the same time. But here's another problem with it. You can only pick 1 augment to do at a time, and not per class. You can only pick 1 augment, period. So right now I have the stamina up augment done because I want to get my perks out of the way before I even care about ammo mods or field upgrades. That's just what I want to do. But since I do have stamina up selected, if I try to select Deadwire now, stamina up unselects itself. I can only focus on 1 at a time. I don't like that. Like I said, this just takes away from player choice comparative to what we had in Cold War. Now to be fair, I do understand that in Cold War, that whole like Ethereum crystal system, a lot of people didn't like. Me personally, I didn't mind it, but a lot of people saw it as just an extra currency that you were going to stop earning once you had earned the maximum crystals anyway. The biggest reason I did like it was because once you earned the crystals, you could pick whatever you wanted to upgrade straight away. You didn't have to go through this linear augment process. Not only that, every time you upgraded a tier to your perk, those upgrades were there constantly. And knowing that unfortunately you can only pick 2 of these, I'm not a big fan of the augments, even though I do understand they were trying to make this game more difficult. I don't know, I feel like if I give this enough time, I will come around to the idea of augments, but as it currently sits, I don't like the way the augment system was handled, but that's really my only major complaint with this. And finally, before I close out this video, I do understand that there are some other things within Zombies that I didn't necessarily mention while I was here. Keep in mind, I haven't done everything in Zombies yet, because this is only the second day, for me at least, that this game has been available for me to play. I still need to go around and actually do the Easter eggs in the game. I'd like to do the Easter eggs, especially because I've heard they're actually kind of easy to do in this game. Not counting the Easter egg assisted game mode that will come out very soon, but you get the point. But if I have any closing thoughts for my first like 24 to 48 hour impression of the game, if Treyarch handles Zombies in this game good, I think this is going to be a great Call of Duty game. And who knows, maybe at some point soon I actually will take care and actually look at multiplayer and actually finish out the campaign. Because like I said, I really do enjoy Zombies even though I don't care about the multiplayer or campaign. And maybe I will actually come around to playing those other side modes. Well, the main modes that people actually care about in this game. Also, keep in mind, if I didn't mention anything here and you do have some questions, you want to learn my opinions, please feel free to go down in the comment section and ask me what my opinions are of those modes. But with that being said, it has been your boy, Mr. Emu Raccoon, and I will see you guys next time.